This, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
They did it! They did it!
Left.
What the hell was that?
Oh, yeah!
What the fuck are you talking about?
Heyo, what's up, everybody? Kicking it stateside, back again. Tuesday, August 17th. We have the Premier League week 1 under our belts. Always a fun experience in this English Premier League.
You had fun this week
with the results. I had a great time. My teams performed quite well. And there are some shockers. Like, we kind of assumed that every first match day, there's always some upset that's going to be like, whoa, no way. And it's overreaction city big time. So, again, you got to give credit to where credit's due, though, with some wins from Brentford. Congrats to them with their first win in the Premier League in 76 years or whatever it was. The scenes there after the match was like they just won the league. Which is cool. They made this brand new, beautiful stadium that they couldn't even use. Like, the fans weren't even allowed last year to really get that experience, and to have a packed house there, it was pretty cool. And the coach like screaming in that little kid's face after the match, that viral video that's going around. That's what it's all about, right? The good feels. I guess I would kind of feel the same way if my team wasn't in the top flight after 76 years. And to win that first game back's got to feel pretty sweet. But again, that was the highs of highs. And of course, as I introduced my good friend Brian Wheeler, there were some lows to the weekend as well that you could probably attest to.
Yeah. Like it says right there, I'm glad I'm not allergic to bees. I hope Mikel Arteta's not allergic either, because I don't know, man. Like, what can you even say? Any flying, stinging little insect pest was on fire this weekend with Watford, the Hornets, on their debut back as well, getting a big dub. So it was the perfect recipe, and I had said it during the week. I had said it in our group text, and I just had that vibe. Like you said, I think it's 74 years, but regardless of how long a team has been out of the league, and we say it all the time, like that. If you look in their history, for the first, prior to them leaving 74 years ago, they were a competitive team in the top flights of England in the 20s and 30s, and then things happened and they went down, and 74 years later it took them to get back.
Here we are.
So, and they get a home game, like you said, in a brand new place, packed house, with a team that, if you know the history of that team, a couple years ago, over the last 3 years, that team's been on the verge of getting back to the Prem. A year ago, they just missed out, basically sold off all their best players, and then found a way to have new guys come in, and with that other group of guys that have been there and knocking on the doorstep the last few years, pulled it together, got there, and now they're here, and hey, they made noise in their first game. I warn, obviously, all fans and everybody to, like you said, overreaction city, be a little weary. We all remember Norwich taking down the powerhouse Man City a couple years ago, and then getting relegated later on that season. So, nice win for Brentford. Terrible performance for that team. That's not
turn it around.
That's not a wardrobe malfunction. That's intentional for today's show. And yeah, I mean, What else can we say? It was just not a good way to open up your season as an Arsenal fan. Open up the season on Friday night. I've looked forward, doing this, obviously. I've been talking about it week after week and looking forward to it week after week and day after day. And then to take my Friday at 3 p.m. and just give everything up and sit down and spend 2 hours watching that was just, it was disgusting. It was absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, it's a tough way to start the weekend, you know? You're looking forward to it, you know, first game of the season, and then you show up and do that and get beat by a team that, again, we're not trying to do the overreaction thing. At least I'm not trying to, but it's you lose to a team, I guess, that everyone has predicted to be relegated, which, you know, has to be noted. But again, first game back in 74 years, home game, new stadium, fans, obviously first game back, you know, you got to give them props, and you're going to get that extra energy from the crowd. You know, that's what we missed from not having people in the seats. And we even made a poll question, you know, way back, I think when we first started up again, once that 2 or 2.5 months break when the pandemic was in full swing, we were like, you know, does having people in the seats really make an impact? And
yeah,
obviously you see it now that we're pretty much 100% capacity over there and watching these games, and just the energy from the crowd. It's great. But yeah, we're trying not to do the overreaction thing. And it is, you know, I guess as an Arsenal supporter, you're probably a little weary, which kind of leads into the poll question. Again, knee-jerk reaction maybe, but
yeah, but you know, on the Arsenal side, this has been talked about now for the last 6 months.
Oh, sure, yeah. It's will it actually happen? You know, there's a question for you. You know, will Mikel Arteta, the Arsenal manager, will be the first manager sacked in the Prem this season?
I mean,
agree or disagree?
Before I go off on any of that, I just want to say hi to everybody who's jumped on and joined us already. Tommy, Dan, Daly, Ralphie, Frank, Pete.
Yeah,
we'll get to the early questions and stuff soon as they roll in. But if I'm Arsenal front office, which is also the problem, but you of all people know, I've defended Arteta for a little bit of time now. But watching this performance on Friday, there's no more defending it. It's uninspired, poor game planning. Like, to watch that game and I understand the logic and the theory of playing from behind, but you got to play with your personnel, and the personnel that they had, you just can't do that. I can't watch Kieran Tierney be instructed every time he gets the ball to send it back to Burnley.
Yeah.
Like, knowing what he can do when he gets open space. Like, there was times where he had a ton of space, and the first thing his instinct was to do, and I don't think it's his instinct, I think it's being coached in that system, is to send that ball back and start it up again. And I'm like, just go. Like, do something. Let me see a little bit of inspiration. There was a few bright spots, but I don't know. I feel like anything less than at least a result against Chelsea, it's like this. It's going to get close. It's not going to take a long time, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that he will be the first manager fired. I think there's a few candidates ahead of him. I just don't know how long Newcastle's going to ride with Steve Bruce, much longer. I just don't. What he brings to the table as a manager, it's, you know, beyond me.
Yeah.
And you saw it. They had a great start, and then they give up 3 goals in like 15 minutes and get absolutely run off the pitch at the end of the game. And I just don't know. That would be my guess.
It's going to be neck and neck for.
But again, if Arsenal doesn't show up against Chelsea on Sunday and lays an egg like that and loses 2-3-0, then maybe we're like, all right, well, something's got to give.
That's the thing. Like, they've literally, with losing this game, we talked about it before on last week's show, on the preview show. Lord Walker said, 5 points would be. I was okay with 3. You get your points at Brentford, and then you had Chelsea and City coming up, and you couldn't expect it. If you got 1 or 2 out of that, awesome. But like, But now to get your 3, that means you have to either beat Chelsea or City in the next 2 weeks. And after what you just showed me on Friday, there's 0 chance of that happening.
But again, like we were talking about,
but you know how the league goes, and you know how
our soccer chat. Eddie brought it up. He's like, that would be the game where Arsenal just somehow you think they're down.
Oh yeah.
And of course they come out and somehow beat Chelsea.
It'd be such an Arsenal thing to do.
World. Yeah. And that is the Arsenal way, absolutely. So again,
I just don't think this is the same Chelsea team, and I don't think this is the same Arsenal team of a couple years of recent. That has happened often recently, where the better and it has been Chelsea's been the better team, but not to this level. Like right now, it's just night and day. It's night and day from where Chelsea is winning a Champions League to Arsenal losing 2-0 to Brentford to start the season. I mean,
it's only going to get better. Obviously with Lukaku coming in and possibly even starting that game up top. So
he should start that game up top, and he should start it with Pulisic. And this is coming from an Arsenal fan, but as a U.S. fan, it was nice to see your boys score. Our boys.
Yeah, even as a supporter of another club in the league, I mean, you still got to love when an American can score.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's a great weekend, honestly. A lot of goals scored, so we'll see if that keeps up as well. Again, probably talk a little nice, probably shout out to Carly Lloyd of the U.S. Women's National Team. She announced her retirement from the national team of the women's team.
And total soccer, but she will finish out this season.
Right, I saw she's done at the end of the NWSL season. So, giving a shout out to Carly, New Jersey girl, gotta love her.
Yeah, man.
I know Pete was saying how much impact does Carly's retirement have on the U.S. Women's National Team as a whole. I wouldn't say it's like she was definitely probably part of that core that they count on, but as far as being like a huge impact with her hanging it up, I'd say less. Say probably no, but again, that World Cup in whatever was that 15 that they won? 15, where they routed whoever they played in the final like 6-0, and she had a hat trick, I believe.
Yeah.
Those are the games that the big players step up when they need to in big games like that, and she's definitely a big game player, no doubt.
I think there could be some trickle down effect from her retirement. You already saw now the first ones they went to was Rapinoe, and now she's being questioned, and she's like, well, I got a lot of thinking to do. I mean, Carly Lloyd is super decorated. Like, people don't realize what impact that she is, like, that's why I put it that way. Like, she's the best number 10 in U.S. soccer history, men or women. Like, if you look at her career as a whole, there's no better number 10 on either side of the ball than what she's done so far. She's retiring now as the highest paid women's footballer, which should hopefully down the line maybe, help them out. It's not doing anything now, but she's leaving as the highest paid. It's not a ton of money, but it's still the highest paid. She's got 300 plus caps. What'd she win? She had like multiple records. I think that hat trick was a record for a World Cup final for women, definitely. I think one man did it in a final as well. 2-time Olympic gold medalist, even though they had the struggles with this past Olympics, obviously, and only getting the bronze. She was part when they actually cared, that younger group, the 08, 2012 group before the world, in that World Cup run as well, when they were just the most dominant force in the world. Won 2 golds, went back-to-back World Cups. So I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be like this is now that changing of the guard that we talked about because of her retirement, or it was the fact of the underperformance in the Olympics, or a combo of the two. But I have a feeling there's going to be some changes in that front. I think that's probably why she's hanging it up. After what she saw go down, she was probably like, I'm 38. I've had enough. Like,
yeah, it's that squad, like we talked about prior on prior shows, that core group is getting older. It's not getting younger at all, with Rapinoe and, Alex Morgan's getting up there. Tobin Heath's getting up there. The tide maybe is turning, like Eric said. It's but they've underperformed in the Olympics before, and they underperformed this Olympics and still got bronze. Yeah. And they weren't even really trying that hard.
They could. So, some of them they could walk through and get.
I'm not really. Again, I've said this before. I don't see them until somebody knocks them off in the next World Cup and holds that trophy, and it's not the U.S. on receiving the gold. Then no, I'm not. I'm still saying that there's the top team.
No, yeah. I'm not saying that they're not the top team, but I'm just saying I have a feeling. I think we'll still be the top team, but I think we're finally maybe going to see that influx of a few new players coming into the team and getting some opportunities, some younger next generation, I would say, of women footballers.
It's time, and we'll see. I guess the next Olympic qualifying, what that is. But one other thing I didn't put in the show criteria before we get back to the Prem and stuff is, and it's hard. Like if we got to the point where we did shows every day, that would be great. So again, everybody, like, subscribe, follow, memberships, A2D, please check us out. $9.99 a month gets you the A2D membership and all the beautiful perks that go along with it. Again, show appearances, member streams, shout outs, the Money Pot Podcast. Shout out to our sponsors. Like we said, all the good stuff that went on this summer. It's been great getting back to the world. But what isn't great? That wild hairy bush. And you got to tame your pubes from the help from our friends at Manscaped. The leaders in the below the waist grooming. Their 4th generation package includes the brand new Lawnmower 4.0. If an athlete treats their body like gold, why not treat your pubes like Olympic gold? So, fellas, do the right thing by your balls, like the 2 million other men worldwide, and subscribe to Manscaped. Use code A2D, 20% off and free shipping on your brand new Lawnmower 4.0, which is the 4th generation trimmer. Features cutting-edge ceramic blades and reduced grooming accidents with the advanced skin-safe technology. So, just want to give a shout-out to them and our main sponsor, Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy. #1 in South Jersey, voted on by you, the people. And we say people, for the people, by the people.
We say #1 overall. So, yes.
Yes, #1 in South Jersey, #1 in our hearts. He's been the show sponsor ever since we started here. And, the doc, I've seen him on some shows. He's a knowledgeable guy, too, in sports, and not just his physical therapy, his business, killing it. So
I think what we got to do is the next time one of our top players or favorite players gets a knock and we have some questions on what it could entail for them to get back, we maybe have to call on the doc and see what he feels on the
give us an injury report.
Yeah. Like if somebody strained something, we'll find out. We'll hit them up for how long that should take and typical.
We have our doctor plug to give us all the insights.
Absolutely. And before I went on to that sponsor rant, I was getting to something, and I was making the point of, if we could do the shows daily, we could cover everything all the time, which would be great.
Yeah,
so
it's very hard.
Maybe one day we will. That's our goal here at A2D, is to grow this, into that, to where we can all do our thing. But I just wanted to give a condolences to the family of the great Gerard Mueller, the greatest scorer in German history. Did pass away over the weekend, I guess. So, like, I never really got to see him play live, but like he was that guy, like, as I was growing up, like, and getting into like the German soccer, like he was that guy everybody talked about. And you go back and you get whatever video clips you can get that was available at that time. And you look at his numbers and his stats and all his accomplishments, like the dude was absolutely incredible. Pretty much holds every record in Germany. The most recent one was broken by Lev for like for goals overall. By a I mean, he was German, but by anybody, but he holds the German-born record still. He won a World Cup in '74, won a Euros in '72. Was part of those great Bayern, some of the great Bayern teams in the '60s and '70s. Won the Ballon d'Or. So, just another one we lost, another legend we lost. Hopefully, he'll get a card in FIFA 22.
That'd be pretty sick.
Yeah,
play as him, but yeah. Condolences. He was a hell of a player. Again, that was kind of before our time. You can really go off his clips and, word of mouth of how amazing this guy was. But if you're breaking records in German football, you're probably pretty damn good. So
and ones that have held now for 40 plus years. So
ones that not many people are touching those. So it's pretty great. So condolences and the best to the fam. It's a hell of a dude. What was he, 80 something, right?
Yeah, he was up there.
Decent.
Oh yeah, he had a good run.
Good run.
Yeah, he was born in 45, so
5, right on. I know, Dan. It's I'm not quiet about the Union. I'm just it
ain't over. Hey, it's far from over. 2's not terrible.
Not too much to say. I mean, you get a fluke deflected goal. That's it is what it is. Yeah. And then the PK could go either way. I mean, it's tough. So
yeah,
I don't think they played terrible. They didn't play great, but 2 fluky kind of goals. It is what it is. You got to come back out and in Philly in a few weeks and take care of business. It's going to be a very uphill battle with that second goal. But what are you going to do? It's a shitty couple of shit goals. So
you can right that ship though. All you need is 2. 2 at least gets you to extra time.
True.
I mean,
you just got to get them.
Yeah. More than I don't even know if I'd be as concerned about getting them as just not giving any. Because that's not, the Union have been a good team, but I feel like the loss of McKenzie has been pretty significant. Guys have stepped in and done an admirable job, but they're still not him. There's a reason why he's now playing over in Europe, and he's considered one of the top for the U.S. men's national team.
Yeah, I mean, him and Aronson were definitely
obviously, and Aronson too. But.
And our maestro in the midfield, Jamiro Montero, is he's on the move. I believe he's going to go back home, a little homesick. He's been away from his family for, I think, at least 2 years now. He hasn't seen them. So I believe the rumor is that he's going to be sold back to the Netherlands so he could be closer to his family, which has been a huge loss. We have not played very well since he's been gone. So I don't know. It starts tomorrow against the NYCFC, so we'll see how that one goes. I will be in attendance, actually.
Oh, nice.
Yes, going to take the old lady there.
Even
soccer game.
Even down 2-0, I'm not necessarily opposed to trying to get to that.
Oh, we're already going.
Yeah, definitely.
I told Zach that he should get the tickets, and I told him you were interested too.
Yeah, dude. Definitely. If he's, make sure you get me one. I will definitely go to that.
Right on.
Word.
But yes, and before we really get into the Prem coverage, also today, literally in 3 minutes, we got the German Super Cup. We got Bayern versus Dortmund. Little battle here within the Kickin It Stateside program as my Dortmund boys taking on Bryan's Bayern lads for the German Super Cup as the winners of the Bundesliga last year. Bayern take on the Deutsche Pokal German Cup champs in Dortmund. 2:30. If you're interested in any, if you want to watch some decent soccer on a random Tuesday at 2:30, check it out. I believe it's on ESPN Plus.
Yeah, it is.
So if you have a subscription to that,
Streaming it right now.
turn it on. It'll be good. Hopefully, the last few Bayern Dortmund in cup games usually work out way better for Dortmund than it has for Bayern. Now, if it's a league game, we're talking different results because Bayern usually wins those games. But
I mean, you said you downplayed it, and you said pretty good football. I think. I mean, I'm looking at these lineups. We're balls to the wall. We're
is it full squad either both sides.
This is Marco Reus, Haaland, Gio. I mean, you got full squad. You got Witzel actually starting at a center back, which is a very interesting move to me. I don't think it's a bad move at all. You got Lev, you got Thomas Mueller, you got Coman. I mean, you got Manuel Neuer, you got everybody.
They're going for it. All right.
Alphonso Davies is back from injury, starting at left back next to Sula.
Yep.
So
interesting.
You're not starting Mats Hummels, so that you should be happy about that.
I feel like
it's a Kanji and Witzel at your center back pairing. So with Schultz and Pasiak?
Yeah, Felix Paslak, nice.
Yeah, Jude Bellingham and Yusofa up top with Haaland and Royce.
Okay, yeah.
Mukoko?
Yeah.
Yeah.
17-year-old.
Yeah, the young kid. Yeah, so
interesting. Little mix of rotation and keeping Haaland, Gio, and Royce up top. I like it.
Yeah.
Give some guys a little rest from Saturday's thrashing, but they're
actually coming.
Pretty sweet, Dan. Canada getting some people in the seats. That's sweet.
Good. It's about time.
A little Whitecaps action. It's probably been year and a half.
This joint looks full. I'm streaming it right now.
Is it at Dortmund?
We are.
Or is it at the Allianz?
Signal Iduna Park.
Nice. Ooh, tough one against LAFC. It's a tough one to come back to.
Oh, that's a good game to go to though. Like,
yeah,
you're probably not going to see your team win, but at least you'll get to see some good players.
A little Vela action. Oh yes, but yeah. We talked a little bit already about the Brentford Arsenal game that kicked us off on Friday. If you are living under a rock, Brentford won 2-0 over Arsenal, and now the team that we all predicted to finish in last place is in the top of the table. How about that?
How about that? For 1 week.
For 1 week.
At least.
But yeah, I mean, Saturday you saw a lot of scoring.
I was gonna say, let's talk. We get the true top of the table because
United.
Yeah. I mean, I
thrashing on a Leeds team that I don't know. I think Lord Walker was the one that was saying that he expects Leeds to be in the top 8, which
he had him top 6,
which is outlandish and showing that it was like, all right, well,
but
he lose 5-1.
He also undervalued United and had them out of the top 4.
It's true.
So where I had them ranked the highest so far. Again, we're overreaction Monday. Overreaction Monday. But I was actually, I mean, you saw, I think in our picks, I think I picked that game like a 2-2 draw. I saw what I thought was going to be a very competitive Leeds team this year, and I'm sure they still will be. Again, this is week 1, game 1.
But against top 6 sides, I mean, they're not going to get many results out of that.
And they had, I mean, I said it, if they can keep Pogba on this team, I might have picked him number one. I might have picked him to finish first in the table if they can keep Paul Pogba on this.
He showed why he can when he wants to. When he wants to, he can. He's one of the best midfielders in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, just starting it out with 4 assists like it's nothing. Like it was like a quiet 4 assists too. Like it's like, oh,
Bruno's just like, this is the guy.
Yeah. Well, Bruno's going to be like, thanks. I mean, I'll take any assists. I'll take a Hattie every game, for God's sakes.
Yeah, even Fred getting in the scoring. I mean, that's how you know it's a day for United. Yeah.
United clicking on all cylinders, and I don't think Leeds had a chance. And again, first game at full capacity at Old Trafford. You're asking for it was going to be a tall order regardless.
Walking into a buzzsaw right there
for Leeds. So again, United look good, and we're trying. We're going to say it a million times. It's overreaction Tuesday, and we're going to be like, oh my God, United look like juggernauts. And I know Eddie said relax, it's only Leeds, but when you score 5 goals in any top flight game, I don't care who you're playing, it's still pretty good.
Yeah, that gets acknowledgement, definitely.
And I know we have a lot of haters of Man United, especially in our group chat, which I'm not the biggest United fan, but I mean, I got to be realistic, especially having a show where we talk about it, and
we got to be somewhat biased. We
got to be somewhat biased. Like I don't like
everybody knows who we root for. Everybody knows that. But if we want to be relevant in this business and what we're trying to do, we have to have some bias at the end.
Can't be Homer, and if we wanted to do that, we would have started like an Arsenal or Chelsea podcast.
Exactly.
And just talk about that, and suck just those teams off, and everyone else is terrible. It's like no.
Yeah.
Gotta be realistic.
We're gonna be a little realistic in this one.
But hey, great start for United. Getting a 5-piece, is a hell of a way to start it, and we'll see if they can continue it.
Another team that did not get a good start, which I think we all kind of predicted, was Burnley.
I
mean, they get a goal 2 minutes into the game. And then they try to park the bus, and it comes back to bite them in the ass. 2 late goals by Brighton, and the goals score goals and take it 2-1.
I mean, you knew that it was. I thought that game had like 1-1 written all over it. Because very Brighton getting a draw. 1-1.
Oh yeah, you figure Brighton would tie it up. That once Malpai scored, you're like, all right, there's your draw.
Yeah, then, if I had money, I would have put a draw on that, and that's why I don't really bet that much anymore, because I would have lost.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I think this is what we're going to see from Burnley, and why you and I have Burnley in the bottom 3 once this whole thing ends in May. So,
and to go back to the poll question, could be a third name thrown into that hat for first manager sacked if
Mr. Dyche.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
he's going to be his seat's definitely slowly cranked up to about 400 here. So I don't know. We'll see.
Dan, we'll work you into the group chat eventually. You still got some mending to do. We love you.
Been a bad boy. But hey, like we said in the beginning of the show, I'm not going to talk too much about Chelsea because I shut it off after 3-0 because it was just. I mean, this is again why I think Crystal Palace is going to have a really tough time.
Yeah, we said they're that one of those teams that are going to be in that like 17 to 15 range that could one bad month like we've seen, and it could cost them a spot in this league.
And I still don't have faith in Patrick Vieira. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they talk about uninspiring. They were probably the only other team to look worse. I mean, I know Leeds lost 5-1. Leeds still didn't look worse than Arsenal, and they didn't look worse than Crystal Palace. Again, Chelsea, we expect them to be good. There's a lot of expectation now. You are the champions of world. Basically, so
I guess we're the world champions.
You are the world champs. You are the world champs, pretty much. So, Alonso, just keeps getting
You know
time and keeps scoring goals. And
The more he plays,
it doesn't make
more
sense.
goals he scores, the more time he's going to get. And then
Yeah.
you still have Chilwell.
He's such
on
a
the
Tuchel
bench.
type. Yeah, Chilwell's just out of everybody's favor. He lost favor in the English team. He lost favor in this team. I wouldn't be surprised if he actually goes out at some point, and they try to recoup some of the money for him because it just hasn't seemed to work there. Tuchel has a lot of other options he likes. Our boy scored, which we said is huge. Pulisic healthy, starts the season before halftime there.
Goal.
Yeah, Pulisic type goal, and you had another nice addition get your third goal. So
Trevor Shaloba.
Yeah, just kind of flying under the radar. Has a brother also in your club, I believe, and gets a start. Pretty much goes from riding. They thought he might make the team, be included in the first team, from what I was reading, to having a really good preseason, to Tuchel basically being like, fuck it, it's Crystal Palace, go out there. And not only does he go out there and play great defense, but he scores a goal. So, hey, you guys are in good shape. Like you said, Mighty Blues, you're rolling.
That's what we do it. Before we go on, Rob said, who do we see finishing at the top of the table? I believe we both had Man City.
We both finished. No, you and I both finished, I believe our tables with City actually being number one. But, again, we'll see. I'm not putting much stock into that game. We'll get to that eventually since it was on Sunday. But Adam and I both had City. Would you have Chelsea 2?
Yeah.
And I had United 2. I had Liverpool 3.
Yep.
You also had Liverpool 3.
Yeah, I think I had United 4.
And then I would have left me with...
I had United, Leicester, Arsenal, I believe, to round out the top 6.
Yeah.
And yours was sort of in that. I think you had Arsenal 6, but you had United 5. Then.
Oh, I had Chelsea. I had Chelsea 4.
Chelsea.
That was right. I had Chelsea
Right, yeah.
4 and then Leicester 5 and Arsenal 6. I shouldn't have. That was fanboying, because after what I saw, that's not a 10th place team. What I saw on Friday. So
Yeah. What's up, Gregory?
So
Greg loves a good firing.
So he agrees to the poll. Everybody loves it. Yeah.
Just love to see people lose their jobs.
Yeah.
What else?
If it's not deserved.
Yeah. I suppose, we'll see.
There's too many people right now in this world that have jobs that they shouldn't have. That's all I'm not going to get into anything. That's all I'm going to say. So
It's true. See that in every occupation. But yeah, I guess we love good fire. Yeah, why not? It's not my team, so I care less.
I mean, I would like to not have to fire my coach, and I would like to have some success, and I would like to win some games, and I'd like to see a change in culture. I would have really liked to see them buy Tammy Abraham, but, congratulations to him on going over to Roma. That's a good move for him. It's a good move for Chelsea. Chelsea got a nice little, check for him. It's going to help them out.
He's back with a special one.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good for him. He's going to get an opportunity to play. And I made that second poll question for the YouTube question. Do you think he will score 10 or more goals for Roma?
Yes.
I would agree for that.
Yes.
Yeah. And again, that goes back to our question a couple years ago when Pulisic joined Chelsea. Is it in all competitions? Is it in league play? I think he might do both, to be honest with you. Definitely in all competitions, because Roma will play in Europe. But I think in league play alone, he probably might grab 10.
I think he definitely will.
Yeah. Just I know, Tammy, you've been through it over in England. Just be prepared for what you're going to face over in Italy. Just close your ears. Don't listen to the bullshit and go play your ball and win some games. I guess I'll have to continue watching Roma again, even with the special one there.
I know. It's so hard not to.
Yeah, Even
We'll
though he was
see
a Chelsea
Tammy
player, I like Tammy. I respect good players, and
He'll be back in the Prem soon.
yeah,
Once he does well, some club will come calling.
yeah, it's a 4-year deal, but probably expect him back in about 2.
That's what I would say.
As long as he performs. So,
what coach did have a great opening for his, debut, Mr. Rafa Benitez in Everton. Getting a nice 3-1 dub over the Saints. I really thought, I was like, all right, Southampton getting a nice goal from the new boy, not Stewie Armstrong, Adam Armstrong. They signed from Blackburn. Nice, beautiful goal to start it. I'm like, all right, 1-0. Keep this going. And then, once Richarlison scored pretty much right after halftime, the wheels kind of fell off and 3 goals down your throat, and that's it. And tough sitting, -2 after the first day. For a team that's already, we talked about it, if you missed our preview show on Thursday, all 3 of us, Lord Walker included, think that Southampton's going to definitely be, or he thinks Southampton's going to go down, didn't he?
He
said he was adamant that Southampton.
Oh, that was in his bottom 3. Yeah, that was in a couple other the viewers' bottom 3 as well.
Right. And again, I don't want to see Ralph be put in that same category as possible managers to be fired, but it's really leaning towards that way. And I hate to say it. I just don't know how much longer, Southampton's going to be like, hey, man, if you don't start getting some results, we got to let you go.
Yeah.
Got to let you go.
You would hate to see it with him because I don't think he deserves it at all. I think he did a great job with that team over the last couple of years, just keeping them afloat.
Mm-hmm.
I was amazed that Richarlison still has any gas left in the tank after the summer the guy had.
This guy's got a motor.
Yeah, or maybe he's just still on that hot streak right now, and it'll run out later on in the season. But he played in the CONCACAF. He played in the Olympics. And played meaningful minutes in both, and comes right out and starts the season off with a goal. So I stayed away with him in fantasy, away from him, because I thought he was just due for an injury with all the games he's
for real.
playing. But
yeah,
hey, he's off to a good start. Yeah, and I still got my dub this week. I saw you did too. So good start to the season.
Not complaining.
Yeah, man, leading the league after week 1.
Mm-hmm. Eric, I love you, but you got a lot of people on your wish list.
Yeah,
you got a lot of people, and I think Tammy's way better than Danny Sturridge. I don't want to put Tammy in that same category. I think Danny was a little bit of a flash in the pan, and now he's
better hope Lord Walker's not listening.
That's his boy. I get it. He's at Liverpool too, but I don't know. I don't see Tammy being a Liverpool kind of guy. You don't need him. You just had Salah running roughshod out there the other day.
Yeah, we'll get to them at some point here.
And thank you for Salah being on my fantasy team.
Yeah,
Leicester with a nice 1-0 win against the Wolves.
Yeah, Vardy doing what Jamie Vardy does. There he goes again.
Stop scoring.
Yeah.
My brother's like, should I pick up Tammy or should I pick up Jamie Vardy again for fantasy this year? I'm like, I would not bet against that man. I don't even care how old he's getting. He's got a motor like a son of a bitch out there, and he's still doing it.
Yeah, he is a fine wine. He's been getting better with age. So, not the most impressive win over an interesting Wolves squad. And,
it was a very weird lineup that completely different from what Nuno would have probably thrown out there.
Yeah,
like he didn't start. Like I thought Rat Nori had a fantastic year last year, but I know Max Kilman's pretty good. Who else didn't he? He didn't start somebody else. Dendonker, I don't think started either.
Yeah, I think he was left off. I'll pull it up real quick.
There's a few questionable
Yeah,
guys.
Donger was left off. Yeah, I thought he would have went with Silva early in that game, but I guess not.
I mean, you got to give props. Great to see Raul Jimenez back out there playing again.
Oh, Semedo he left off, which was
Yes.
Semedo he left off, and Rudy, however you pronounce that. Both of them were pretty key players last year, but
yeah, it's a different. You lose Rui Patricio between the sticks, and you just get another Portuguese gentleman, Jose Sa.
Yeah. But yeah, like you said, Raul Jimenez back on the pitch, getting a full 90 too, which was even better to see. So it looks like he's finally fully recovered from that awful head injury.
Yeah, it was
which for all you guys that say it's not a contact sport, go look up that injury. And
just happy to see him out there again. He's a good player.
Yeah.
What was the game after that?
Watford, Villa.
Oh yeah, Jesus, what a game for! And it's concerning me because I don't like to see that Villa side give up that many goals.
Yeah.
I just don't, because that's going to be an issue. You see, John McGinn of all people get a goal to start it out, and you're like, all right, good start for Villa, and of course, Ismail Assar, which I still don't know how he's still in Watford. I figured he would have left last year once they got relegated, but
yeah, he's stuck
still
with
there
him.
doing his thing. And it was a little closer than the score, or it wasn't as close as the score predicted. Danny Ings with a late PK to make it 3-2. So
yeah, it was actually 3-0 at one point in this game.
yeah, Johnny didn't score till the 70th minute, so
yeah,
it was 3-0 and 2 consolation goals, but too little, too late.
The Watford team making my African Cup of Nations little call out, looking pretty good with the Nigerian and the Senegal and both getting on the board. Manuel Dennis, I think this was his first game, like with Watford, like meaningful game. I don't think he was here last. Yeah, he was not. This was his debut with them. So he's a good player from that Nigerian team. He was a Cologne and a Club Brugge guy. He was a Club Brugge for like 4 years. So it's good to see him get an opportunity in the Prem and make the best of it so far.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the Watford lineup, it's not really going to turn any heads besides Sarr. Good old Tom Cleverley still doing his thing, and obviously Troy Deeney made an appearance as well. But
it's not terrible. I mean, I don't think it's a relegation. I mean, again, underreaction, overreaction, whatever. It's not great, but if you're gonna get actual production out of Sarr, which you think he's capable of. And Dennis is, who knows what he's going to bring. It's one game into the season. But they added like another dude that Dan Goslin's not a bad player. I think he was, where was he? He was at Bournemouth for a while, I think he was.
Oh yeah, Danny.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's a nice veteran player to add. You no longer have Ben Foster starting anymore. They went with this Bachman kid. They got my man Danny Rose on the bench. Who knows? If they don't go through 7 coaches this year, and some of these other teams look as bad as they did in week 1, Watford might be safe.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the overreaction of week 1.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it from a Villa side, thinking like you had a good team, and you really only lost. I know it was a huge loss. Obviously Jack Grealish was the heart and soul, but I mean, you still got a good team. It's basically the same team.
They'll be okay. Let Ings get comfortable in there. Let Buendia get comfortable in there.
Yeah, you bring in Danny Ings, you bring in Ashley Young, and you bring in Buendia and Leon Bailey. I mean, those aren't like slouches.
Yeah, it's just you got to get it all together. I don't.
It's overreaction.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to be like, "Well, what the hell?" We lost 3-2 to Watford, but it's like, okay. I mean,
yeah.
The world must go on from Jack Grealish, though. That's the only thing they have to get out of their heads.
Yeah, and he didn't get off to that great of a start either. So when we get there, we'll.
True.
But there was one final game on Saturday, and it was the LFC, Lord Walker, Eric's squad. They did what everybody expected them to do. They went out and they beat Norwich 3-0. And if they didn't, that would be something to talk about. But the fact that they did, it's nice to see Jota get an opportunity, get a goal.
That guy just scores.
Firmino scores. Talk about fantasy guys. That was my my Liverpool pick. It was good to see Van Dijk back on the pitch in an actual meaningful game. And like you said, your boy Salah got a goal. So all is well in Liverpool land right now. We are one weekend, and that's all. I mean, that's all I got to really.
I was going to say all is well on the Liverpool front. They're happy boys.
Big save, Manuel Neuer. That was close. Dortmund's taking it too. First 20 minutes, Dortmund has looked the better team in this game.
Really?
A little more aggressive. Oh man, Royer literally got an ankle on a Marco Reus little beautiful pass. By the way, I don't know who made that pass. I don't know if it was Bellingham or who made that pass, but whoever made that pass, I'll have to go back later and watch to Marco Reus. That was fantastic and. Big save here. Corner coming up for Dortmund.
Hells
Nothing with it though so far. So, but it's still in their play. Sorry, a little live reaction to.
No, that's.
I got my Bayern pants on today. I couldn't wear. Definitely couldn't put that kit on.
You can't put. You had to turn the Arsenal kit around for God's sakes.
Yeah, I thought about going Team USA for Carly and just the fact that Pulisic scored this week, but.
Yeah.
I went neutral on the Prem this week. I do love these Bayern kits, and I'm going to definitely have to order one of these.
Get a Lev.
Hey, I think you can get, like Lev, I could get a Lev and he could leave tomorrow and it wouldn't matter. Like, it's timeless. So
yeah.
I probably will absolutely get it. It's between him and Thomas. But I'll probably go Lev.
You got it.
Yeah. So
I wanted to say before we move on to the Sunday games, talking about Norwich, what we probably thought was going to happen, where they make some good splashes and good signings and but it's the same team that they're always going to be. That's why I think they're going to struggle big time. And again, it's against a Liverpool team who can put up 5 if they really wanted to on any club, but Jesus, I mean,
I hate to knock the guy because he became our little show favorite, in their run. But until you move on from Tim Krul, man, you're not.
Oh, Timmy Krul, yeah,
you're not going to win in this league. I'm sorry, like it's done. Like he's a great career. I love Tim Krul, but it's just that it's not going to happen. It's not.
I mean, I'm just.
You probably need some more help on defense too, as well. But it's
like I'm looking at the lineup. It's like, all right, Toddy and Rashid.
They're gonna score.
Buki,
they'll score eventually.
Great for Billy Gilmore to get some first team minutes with the new club, but none of those guys are like, oh my God, I really need to worry about Todd Cantwell to take over the game and score. It's.
We did get to Sargent to get in the game for a couple minutes, so that was good, I guess. But
we'll see how much he's run out there, though.
Yeah, they got that other kid, Adam Ida.
Yeah,
that we talked about last year. So there's going to be some competition for spots, but I think they might get him out on the wing a little bit and get him some opportunities. Hey, if they keep going in games like this and they're not finding ways to score, they got to put him in there and give him a shot. It's been corner just back. Every time I look up, each team gets a corner. you had a corner, then we had a corner, then you had a corner. Now you got a free kick. Sula with a yellow on a terrible, well, not a terrible. It's actually a really good foul on Erling Haaland.
Nicolas Sula.
Yeah, strong foul on Haaland. Take that yellow.
Be nice.
Got to do what you got to do, Marco. Just wide. Just wide on the free kick, Marco. Sorry. I love you, but not today.
Not today, buddy. But, yeah, moving to Sunday, we had West Ham, Newcastle. Newcastle, great start. Callum Wilson getting on the score sheet. St. James's Park rocking 50,000 strong, And then the wheels just come right off the tracks and give up 3 goals within, 12 minutes, and that's all she wrote.
Yeah.
From a West Ham team who looked pretty damn good. And, again, try not to overreact. I know the whole song and dance, but I think this team's going to be – they're going to be pushing for a top 6, I'm telling you.
I don't disagree, and I just, you say that, and as you said that, I'm thinking to myself, it's crazy. Not one of us, when we did our top 6, really had them mentioned at all. And
I had them probably in that 7-8 range, most likely. But, again, I think they're really going to – their lineup, the guys who scored, they need them to score, though. You got to have Ben Rama's. I think he's finally going to understand the Prem a little bit better after, having 1 year. Mm-hmm. He gets on the score sheet. Mikel Antonio, yes, he's had his injury problems last year, but when he's on the field, he scores.
Yeah.
It's
what the guy does.
He's a beast. And Shushek, we know how he did last year in his first year in the Prem. Just kind of took it and run with it and was fantastic for them.
Yeah, that
like Aaron Cresswell, one of the best, underrated left backs in the league.
Very, very underrated.
So, it's a good team. They got a good squad together. It's just, can you really count on David Moyes, to lead a team to a top 6, top 5 finish?
Right. You start to look at the talent and how it's starting to progress and how good these guys.
Sufal, great pickup again last year.
Yeah. So if they don't perform and they don't become a top 6 club, then it's got to be on David Moyes. But he did a good job in the middle of last year when everybody put him down. And like you said with Ben Rama, I talk about it all the time. And another African footballer takes that first year a lot of times for those guys to kind of gain that comfort in the league and gain that comfort of just being in England and all of that. And that the Algerian Cam looks solid right now.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. We'll see how long it can continue and if they'll have enough to keep it going. Fabianski's been a pretty good goalie over the last couple of years. I think we all kind of did them a disservice maybe by not including them in our potential top 6. And Craig Dawson, another show favorite from Watford. Every time we did a show that year when Watford was up 2 years ago, Craig Dawson was getting these goals out of nowhere. So they add him too to that team. This could be a formidable squad.
It's fun. It's on paper they look great and they made great signings last year. Those guys got, a good season under their belt. And I think only the sky's the limit. I think they can score a lot of goals. Whether they can defend, remains to be seen. Fabianski, he's been serviceable. He hasn't been terrible. But, I think West Ham, like Eric said, top 4 is going to be really tough for them just because there's so many good teams jumbled at the top. But, maybe they can fight for that Europa League spot this year.
All I know is don't say anything bad about him or Triple H will pedigree you.
It's true, and you don't want that.
No. Avid West Ham fan. He called Declan Rice out a year ago and told him he needs to stay and grow West
Another
Ham.
Guy who's probably one of the best holding midfielders in the league.
Dude, you put him and Sushek in there, and then you actually get that production from Benrahma.
So underrated.
Yep.
Declan Rice, how he turned out to be. Jesus.
So week 1 reaction. Watch out for West Ham.
Yeah. The Mighty Hammers, heads up. Top 4.
Yeah.
Here they come.
And then last and
Overreaction City to this game, literally.
Last and definitely least, by far. Although, again, as an Arsenal supporter and seeing Tottenham get, who I feel, some guys don't like him. I know Eddie's not a fan. I feel is a solid coach. The guy generally comes out on top.
Yeah, why is he hating on Nuno?
He doesn't like Nuno, and that's okay. And right now, I don't like Nuno anymore. And I said that the moment he took that job, and it's unfortunate because I love Nuno.
Once you go to Spurs, you're dead.
But I can't like Nuno. But they, Harry Kane-less. Sonny's going to play that striker role. It looks like Sonny's going to continue in that striker role if Harry does leave, which is huge for Sonny supporters and whoever had the beauty of picking Sonny in the draft. I just couldn't. I couldn't bring myself to do it. I had the opportunity. I couldn't do it. He's going to have a good year, I think. But another team, I still don't know if they're going to have enough under Nuno with the players they have once Kane does leave or doesn't leave. And
I think it's a pretty telling sign that once he was left off the 18 that I think he's gone.
Yeah, he should be. They should do the right thing by him if he wants out. And honestly, at the end of the day, I hate to say it, but it's going to be the right thing by Tottenham to move on from him.
Yes, I think it's probably best for both sides. I mean, the guy hasn't won any trophies though.
No,
he doesn't really have much of a pedigree. Yes, he did win. He got the most assists last year and most goals, which is pretty impressive. And I'll forever thank him for keeping my fantasy team afloat last year. But
yeah, they got to a Champions League final,
right?
They got to that final and lost, and that's it.
My Spurs hate is, it's deep, but it's not as deep as yours.
Yeah.
But if they lose Kane, even to City, if he goes there, it's like, just adding to that. But hey, maybe that's why he didn't play. He didn't want to give him too much of a run out in case he gets hurt. Kind of like Eric said, him being a little fragile these days. My biggest fear with this game was, and with this whole Spurs team, but it wasn't a full City lineup anyway.
It wasn't a full City lineup, but most everybody was there. You weren't missing much. And if you look at this Spurs team and how much veteran leadership is on this team paired with a coach like Nuno, that could be a recipe for some success. And that worries the hell out of me, because I'm looking at, and like a lot of these guys are vets, and he has his new addition in Bryan Gill, who didn't get even a chance to sniff the pitch yet. A guy like Lucas Moura is going to play super hard for him, and he did. He played well. We all forget Steve Bergwijn is a solid player. Maybe somebody finally gets something out of Dele Alli for more than a week. He got it. He has his boy Matt Doherty back on his team. Eric Dyer. He's Eric Dyer, but they're guys that have been around and guys that know this league. And he has a good goalkeeper, and he's a good coach, and he has that could be a recipe for a couple dubs. And I don't like it. Don't like it at all.
Yeah, I'd like to see as the season goes on and how this Harry Kane situation plays out before I start crowning Spurs, top 6.
I'm not.
But I do like Nuno. I don't understand the hate from Eddie saying that he's. I won't say what he said, but I don't really understand. He's been turning clubs around where he's been at. Wolves was in Wolves before he got there.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. And to see him in a blue jacket and not that noticeable almost orange color, burnt orange of Wolves, it's weird. It's very weird to see him on the Spurs touchline. So, and again, we'll see what this Harry Kane situation. I'm sure those dominoes will fall very shortly. Once
gotta be the next one, right?
You'd assume so. There's not really much else. He's the big guy that's still out there, and whether is City the only destination that's possible? Who's the other guy? Who's another team that's going to take that on?
I don't
really see him being a guy that would go to Spain at all.
No. If he's staying in England, or he's that's he's not that kind of guy. But your boy Haaland still, it just kind of got quiet. I don't know what's going on there either. If Dortmund's just going to say screw it, his value's only going to go up as long as he stays fit. So maybe they're just going to keep holding on and try to win some games with him, and wait another window, or
maybe they'll just try and make that final push with him this season, see if they can challenge for a title, and he's still going to be scoring goals no matter what.
I would not be surprised still if like Madrid comes calling though. Ooh, looks like Bayern. So Bayern missed a goal, and then Lev rebound, kicks it. It's a clear handball on Witzel, which they're looking at. Now they're saying maybe not. It was more shoulder, and it looks like Bayern might have been offsides to start that play. So it was basically deemed a corner. That was it. So Bayern's in a corner right now.
Say, definitely watching that after this.
So we're in the 35th minute. So as Adam and I are winding down, I would
Dortmund Bayern, check it out.
Highly
if you
recommend
missed it. German Super Cup today, ESPN Plus. Again, two teams probably going to be contending for that Bundesliga title. Tough one though, Bayern in the league getting that draw. Again, overreaction. Overreaction Tuesday with them just getting a point, which is great. The less wins they have, the better for everyone else. With I forget who's sitting at the top. It's like two weird teams that are like Stuttgart, I think, is like a 4-goal differential. So it's always interesting.
I have to say on that end, sometimes I am a bougie Bayern fan like a lot of us, and don't really even look at the table or anything for like 2 months.
And you rightfully so. You should have.
Yeah, I know, but like it's
rightfully so.
But it's
Just
dumb.
history.
I know.
History repeats itself, and you've struggled before out of the gates, and doesn't really matter until after the Christmas. That second half of the season, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Week
Stuttgart
1 draw is not the worst thing in the world.
Stuttgart and Hoffenheim both are a plus 4-goal differential.
Hoffenheim,
to start with Dortmund in third, Cologne, Mainz, Wolfsburg.
Again, you won't see that, and that won't last very long.
Yeah, and Wolfsburg, they all got wins. Then you had a bunch of draws. There was a lot more draws in the Bundesliga. There was no draws in the Prem. It was either wins or losses this week, wasn't there? There was 0 draws.
Yeah, I don't believe there was a draw at all.
Yeah, it's very odd. You would think you would have got
nothing.
one, but yeah. So.
But yeah, it's pretty much it for all the Prem stuff. I mean, we'll talk a little more about this weekend coming up on Thursday. Some games, some intriguing ones. Obviously, Arsenal-Chelsea will square off on Sunday.
Yeah, we're just going at it this week, buddy.
Hey,
it
good. Happens.
It's early in the year.
A little rivalry week here. What else? West Ham Leicester. Talk a little bit on that. That'll be on Monday. That's an intriguing one early. Oh no, what?
Beautiful goal called back for offsides. Erling Haaland with just the most perfect pass. Yeah, he was off.
Piss.
Nice finish though. Nice finish by the 17-year-old. So that's promising for you. Unfortunately, it doesn't count, but it was still it was a very composed,
doesn't count.
Solid finish by him. So if he gets to step back on sides, that's a goal.
He'll learn.
All right. Sorry.
He'll learn.
We haven't had much live reaction lately. So.
I know. It's been, especially it's, Bayern Dortmund's usually a good one for the most part.
Yeah. So, all right, guys. We're getting out of here.
Yeah, it's been fun. Again, we're in full swing, man. This is it. We're going to be back on Thursday. We're going to be talking about the weekend coming up. Another full slate. Got a Monday game, like I mentioned, that we'll talk about that. Nice West Ham Leicester and Chelsea Arsenal will probably highlight the weekend. And any other fun news that'll drop. Maybe some Harry Kane news before then.
It all seems to drop right after our Tuesday shows, like literally an hour after we go off air. So.
I wouldn't be surprised if Harry Kane signs for City after we get off this show. So keep an eye on that. Obviously, transfer window is still hot and heavy, so we'll see if any moves drop as well. So again, thanks everybody for tuning in. Hopefully, everyone enjoys their Tuesday. A little overcast here in Philly, so stay safe out there, everybody, and we will see you on Thursday. Love you guys.
Brother. Love you, man. Later.